이 위대한 구원. 크로스포인트 주니어 처치에서 전해드리는 이 시간, 담당의 Darin Pantley 형제입니다.
Hi, this is Darin Pantley from Point Bible Church. The book of Mark records a story about Jesus. It says, while he was in Bethany, reclining at the table in the home of Simon the leper, a woman came with an alabaster jar of very expensive perfume made of pure nard. First of all, where are they? Where's Bethany? If you can find Jerusalem on a map, look a little east of there. On our modern-day maps, you'll find it located in the West Bank. The ingredients in that perfume typically grow near the Himalayas, so it would have traveled a long way to get to Bethany. So what were they doing there? Apparently, they're hanging out at Simon the leper's home. Do you like that name? Simon the leper? The author had to be really specific about which Simon he meant, because there were other Simons around. He didn't want you to get confused and think he's talking about Judas Iscariot's father, Simon, or Simon the Pharisee, or Simon Peter, the apostle. This isn't Simon the sorcerer from Samaria, or Simon the tanner in Joppa. It's not Simon Cowell. If you had a situation like this happen today, we might say he was reclining at Simon's home, you know, the guy with the really bad case of COVID-19. But it doesn't make any sense to host a dinner party at the home of a sick man. So I'm guessing he had already been healed by Jesus. Jesus would do something like that. So anyway, Jesus was reclining at the table in Simon's home, and a woman came with a jar of perfume. She broke the jar and poured the perfume on his head. This wasn't a cheap bottle of perfume she bought on clearance at the dollar store. How do we know that? Listen to how other people in the room reacted. Some of those present were saying indignantly to one another, "Why this waste of perfume? It could have been sold for more than 300 denarii and the money given to the poor." 300 denarii, how much is that? It was worth more than what most people made in an entire year. Imagine you save up all your paychecks for an entire year and you use all that money to buy a single bottle of perfume. That's some valuable perfume. The people in the room knew this, and they rebuked her harshly. "Leave her alone," said Jesus. "Why are you bothering her? She has done a beautiful thing to me. The poor you will always have with you, and you can help them any time you want." It's not like Jesus was against helping poor people. Quite the opposite. His whole ministry focused on the needy. But he knew something that they hadn't fully realized yet. So he said, "You can help them anytime you want, but you will not always have me." She did what she could. She poured perfume on my body beforehand to prepare for my burial. Truly I tell you, wherever the gospel is preached throughout the world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her. She chose something that was extremely valuable, and she presented it to Jesus. If you had that opportunity to give Jesus a gift of perfume, what would you bring? Would you bring the same perfume, but only sprinkle a little bit and then bring the rest home? Or would you choose a cheaper bottle to make sure you're not giving up all your savings? What would you be willing to sacrifice? It says she broke the jar. It was all or nothing. She poured out the whole thing. She didn't hesitate. She realized that Jesus was fully worthy of her extravagant gift.
지금까지 크로스포인트 주니어 처치에서 전해드렸습니다. 언어와 문화의 장벽을 없애고 실시간 동시 통역이 제공되는 크로스포인트 주니어 처치의 주일 예배 시간은 오전 11시이며 교회에 대한 안내는 847-212-6775로 문의해 주시길 바랍니다.